So how you doing, Brent?
I'm doing great. I've been really busy up here with a few different projects, and so I'm really happy to be playing as much as I'm playing and having as much fun as I'm having. So, yeah, I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
Cool, good. So what's your current project in Vegas? You've got a residency, don't you?
Yeah, I have a new band here called the Saints of Las Vegas. You can find us on Facebook under the Saints of Las Vegas. Give us a like. I'm doing that. I also play on my own with something called Brent, Muscat and Friends, where I just jam with my local musician friends and rock stars here in town. So I do that as well. So that's two things. I also play guitar with my friend's band, a band called Gypsy Road up here. So that's three things. And then I've also got this great project I'm bringing down to the Viper Room with Jam, and we're calling it Allie Cats right now. It's a work in progress, so we might be changing it. We might be playing, hopefully, we had an idea to play with Slim Jim Phantom from the Stray Cats. So it would be like three cats. It would be me from Faster Pussycat, Jam from Cats and Boots, and Slim Jim from the Stray Cats. So that's something we're kind of going to talk to Slim Jim Phantom about. So we're really excited about that. We're excited to get down to LA and all the projects going on. I'm actually later this summer, I'm really going to try to whittle it down just to like one or two projects to concentrate, and the priority probably being the project, that I'm doing with Jam, that I'm bringing down to Viper Room. That's going to be the main thing, I think, for the summer, and hopefully go to Japan and do some promotion and touring over there and some recording as well.
So what can you tell us about the Viper Room show? What can the people expect from that?
Well, it's every year Blackboard Jungle, a band that I produced back in the 90s when I was in Faster Pussycat. We brought those guys out on tour with us, and they were a really great LA band. But every year they do a reunion show, and it's really awesome. They bring out all the bands from that time, from the Sunset Strip, Glamour Punk, Swingin' Thing, all the other bands that played with them, and it's really a good time. And the last few years I've been doing it with them. So it's always at the Viper Room, and they always are kind enough to give me the headlining spot on it. And it's packed. And hopefully, I told one of the guys that organizes it in Blackboard Jungle, I said, you should get the downstairs for private after show party. I think what I like about Vegas is Vegas doesn't close. They don't turn the lights on until you go home. It's like 24 hours here. So that was the only thing that, I told Brent, I go, man, you got to get that downstairs as a private party room so that people can hang out a little bit afterwards and to have some drinks and stuff. So I'm hoping that happens this time. That would be really cool. Yeah, and we're at 1:30, man, we're just getting started here in town, I mean, we're ready to go out at 1:30. We're like, let's go out and have some drinks. What time is it right now? Oh, it's like 1 o'clock. Let's go out and get some food and drinks and hear some music and let's go party. We're just kind of getting started, so we're sort of more on vampire hours up here.
So tell us about your new guitar endorsement.
It's really awesome. It's if you look on my Instagram and stuff, it's I've been sharing a lot of pictures of it while it's being built. It's being built by a friend of mine in Japan named Uijun. But he has a shop over there. He's a Japanese craftsman, and he makes these guitars that are similar to like the Brian May guitar and sound. And it's awesome. I got it last night, and I never played a guitar like it before in my life. It's the resonance in it and the sound and the vibrations of it are just so awesome. And I had to finally take it away. I was playing it, and then my friend was playing it. I finally had to turn the amp off because we were just playing it for so long. And I'm like, I'm not going to get sleep if we just keep playing this guitar forever. So I'm really excited to play it live and bring it out and show it off. I gave it a name, since it's from Japan, I named it Sakura, which means cherry blossom.
Oh, neat.
Because it was built in spring and from Japan, and right around the time the cherry blossoms were blooming. So I thought it was a fitting name for it.
Are you planning any appearances or jams or anything while you're out here?
Out in L.A.?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, like we're doing the Viper Room, but hopefully we're doing a couple shows before that. Maybe the Whiskey or maybe
Rainbow.
The Rainbow,
And then hopefully Lucky Strike.
Lucky Strike. So hopefully we're setting that up, all that stuff up, and that goes well. We have some, we have some stuff here in town at the Hard Rock Cafe.
You've jammed with an extensive list of people. Can you name some of them off the top of your head that come to your mind?
Vince Neil lives here in town. He's been out and jammed with us a few times. I've jammed with Slash. Been able to, I was playing in a band with Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses. Duff, I got to jam with. Izzy I pretty much have jammed with all the Guns N' Roses guys. Even like Matt Sorm, some of their former members. Gosh, so many people. Sammy Hagar I played with out here. Alice Cooper, Sebastian Bach, Lemmy from Motorhead. Slim Jim Fannin from the Stray Cats. Pretty much, if there's someone you can name, I've pretty much, I think, jammed with them.
People can say that.
I guess it'd be easier to name people I haven't jammed. Sly Stone, I would love to jam with him. I haven't jammed with him yet. Unfortunately, I never jammed with David. David Bowie was a hero of mine. I never jammed with him before he passed away. So it's really actually easier just to name a few people I haven't jammed with, because I jam with so many people. I kind of built my scene up here on bringing in guests every week. So I've gotten to jam with really just awesome, great people, punk rock legends to rock and roll legends to rockabilly legends, So I've been really fortunate to all the people I've jammed with.
Are you going to go to the Guns N' Roses show in Vegas this weekend?
Well, I would, but I have shows.
Oh, you have gigs, right?
Yeah, I got gigs.
Your weekend shows. Can't be two places at once.
Party across the street. So, And then I have shows right after that pre-party. I'm doing like doubles. I have to play a show on the Strip, and then I have to go right out afterwards and play up in like North Las Vegas. So I'm not complaining though. I'm playing a lot, so I'm really lucky. When I started playing out here in Vegas was pretty much, I had a little bout with cancer, and I had to go through cancer surgery and stuff. So after that happened, I really was sort of like, well, I'm going to play music, but I'm going to play it for the right reasons, and I'm going to play it for fun and not so much worry about money. But I also wanted to give back. I remember when I was in Faster Pussycat and younger, it felt like I was always taking. So I just felt like I wanted to, and even now, I just feel like I want to give back. I want to teach younger people. I have a lot of students that I mentor and younger bands that I get up and jam with me. And I also wanted to give back to charity. So that was one of the ideas when I started playing again, is that, I really want to do something when we play. So when we first started off, we did like Toys for Tots, which is a Christmas thing where for kids that are, don't have parents or that don't have anybody to give them toys. So we would raise toys for the young kids. And then also because I had cancer, we always tried to do St. Baldrick's, which is a really a great cancer charity. And so over the last, I would say, 11 years, between myself and my band members and our organizations and other people and fans, we've helped raise over $1 million for local charities. So I'm very proud of that.
So you talked about Guns N' Roses a little bit there, but what I wanted to know is how do you feel about the Guns N' Roses reunion?
I think it's awesome. I'm super excited about it. I think it's better for it. I grew up with those guys, and I was part of that scene in L.A. And that was a separate scene. Guns N' Roses, Faster Pussycat, Jet Boy, that was a whole new scene that came out at that time, right around 85, 86. And like I said, we were right there with those guys. We did our first albums came out the same day. We toured Europe with them on their first tours. So we were part of that, I guess, history. So for me, having them get back together and tour is just better for me, I guess. I mean, I think it brings back people's memories of the time of the Sunset Strip, when you could walk up and down the Sunset Strip and you were allowed to flyer and there were people hanging out. Unfortunately, it's not like that anymore on the Sunset Strip. It's more like that, actually better now, I think, here in Vegas, and that's why I moved here. It's easier to play here and stuff. And while that being said, I still like to go down to L.A. and Hollywood. It's my roots. But I am super, super duper excited about their reunion. Guns N' Roses is one of my favorite bands, and Slash is one of my favorite guitar players. And they're also kind of, I consider them colleagues of mine. Mm-hmm. So I'm super excited about it.
But you played a reunion with Faster Pussycat, and I wanted to know what happened. Like, what happened in that reunion?
We did. There was a festival down in, I guess it was Irvine Meadows, called Cathouse Live. And it was a big, big show outdoors and with lots of people. And Tammy was kind enough, I guess you would say, to have the original members out on stage. So, yeah, I was excited to do that. I flew down there, and Eric picked me up, and I stayed with Eric, who's the original bass player of Faster Pussycat. And we got up and did that. It was really nice. I think it was nice for the fans to see the original guys on stage together. And for me, it was, I really liked it. It was, for me, it wasn't, I would like to say it was for the fans, but for me it was more of a selfish thing where I felt just good to be on stage with like some of those guys, Greg Still and Tammy and Eric, just together again. It just felt good for me to, I don't know, it's a little bit like closure, it's like having,
right.
It's like, it's like, I don't know, it's like having a wife and then getting divorced and then maybe having some, but then be able to, like, for a dinner maybe or something, and be able to get along and say hi and be kind and be friendly, but have a little bit of, closure, I think.
How's your relationship with Tammy?
I think it's good, I think it's like anything. It's like we're brothers, so brothers fight. But I think it's good. I've had Tammy out here to Las Vegas probably 4 or 5 times to jam with me. Mm-hmm. And I jammed with him recently, like I said, at the Cathouse. So I think Tammy and I are good. We talk sometimes. Like anything, though, there's times where I'm sure he's like, screw that guy, or, because I'm sure while they're on tour, there's a lot of people asking, when are you getting Brent back, or when are you getting the original members back? And I'm sure he gets tired of hearing that. So, that being said, and I hear it a lot, too. Yeah. I hear a lot of people go, oh, when you go, and it's like, well, it's not my really place to say, because I kind of gave up that band. At one point I just said I'm done with the band, and I felt like the greatest part of that band was back in the 90s, and I just felt like I was over it. And so I just said, I'm moving on and doing new bands and new projects. So, I mean, if Tammy called me, I might consider getting back with him and doing something.
That's great. If you had the chance to get back and play with them, would you do that?
Well, I would consider it, I guess. But and you never say never, because I've seen in this rock and roll business everything. You never say never, because at one time people will be fighting, next minute they'll be back together. So the thing is Tammy does his band, which is Faster Pussycat, with all the new guys, and they probably make a certain amount of money. And to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. I mean, fans would really like it. It would be a big deal if me and Greg got back in there. But I think monetary-wise for Tammy, I don't think it would be a big difference in money-wise. And it might be more hassle for Tammy, because the guys he has in his band now are more like new guys, and he's the boss. Mm-hmm. It's easier for him that way. If he gets the original guys back in, we have a little bit more, it's a more of an equal, we'd expect it to be more of an equal playing field. I think for Tammy, he would probably be weighing it. Well, it's what's in it for Tammy. It's not like he's going to make more money, because he'd have to pay the original guys. But That being said, who knows? I mean, if a promoter offered enough for the original band, I'm sure Tammy could consider it, you know.
What are your thoughts about Ason Johnson?
I love him. I think he's awesome. He's a really cool guy. He's a great fit for Faster Pussycat, and he's probably, out of all the new members or members that Tammy has had since I've been gone, he's absolutely my favorite. And I think he's, like I say, he's a cool guy. I would jam with him anytime. He's very nice and gracious. He also, I think, you know, what I like about Ace a lot, he always is like recognizes, I think, the original guys and the contribute, you know, that we did for, you know, to be on the original records and stuff. And I think Ace is like the type of guy that at least gives you, you know, some respect.
So he shows some respect.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect there.
And I like that, you know.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a good quality.
It's a good quality for him, and so I like him. I follow him on Instagram, and he follows me, and I really like him.
Great.
And like I said, if I did ever play in Faster Pussycat again, if there was going to be any other member, like a guitar player, I would pick him first. You know, he'd be my first pick. It's definitely different. I mean, as you grow with anything, technology changes. You know, it's just like a cell phone. I mean, I remember back when you're a kid, you actually had to pick the phone up off the wall and like dial the rotary phone. You know, and well, then new phones come out. Oh, look, this one's got push buttons, and pretty soon they're wireless. You don't have the cord hanging off the wall. But I mean, it's like anything. It's just technology changes, and you just try to adapt. You know, so back when we were doing it, there wasn't so much social media, so we would go out with our flyers and our can of paste glue, and we would glue up flyers everywhere, and we would hand out flyers. But what I liked about that time, though, you had a little bit more face-to-face action with people. I mean, you actually saw their face, and you handed them a flyer. Social media is quicker and faster, and maybe you could get to more people in the right ways, but you're missing a little bit of that one-on-one personal human touch, I think. So I think there's a place, maybe still, even with social media, I think there's a place for people to go out and meet people face-to-face and maybe hand them a card or a flyer, hand it to them, you know. I think there's it would be a good mix to try to bring that back a little bit, you know, along with social media. You know, when you go out to a club, have a pocket full of flyers, you know, and give it to people.